was inevitable that somebody was gonna put a submachine gun on the back of one of these robot dogs, and now we're there. Apparently, it's the Russians in this particular case. Now that is not a Boston Dynamics robot, just to be clear. It does look like one of the Boston Dynamics robots that went viral a few years back. It's not that, but it's even scarier because that sort of robot, there's a bunch of knockoffs that you can buy online. They cost like a couple K, like maybe $4,000. The rifle costs far less. But anyway, its feet, various parts, and its front are different from the ones you might be familiar with, but it's just so cheap. And that is scary. I think we can all admit that. Although there are a few questions remaining from that video. Now, it looks like that is an autonomous robot. It is moving itself, it's making decisions, and then theoretically firing autonomously, but none of that has actually been established. It is possible that that was being controlled remotely by a person. It's possible that the firing was being controlled remotely. Although that's only a little bit less frightening, isn't it? The idea that you could race one of those down the street, viewing, via video transmitted over, like 4G or something, and then trigger it to fire without ever exposing yourself to any sort of risk for less than $5,000, Francesca, that's actually kind of horrifying, even if it's not thinking for itself.
But this is what all the military contractors like swear up and down that they're not doing. And yet the same technology that they pioneer, it like lo and behold, once you do it, now we're just gonna attach a gun on top of it. Like that was the natural conclusion of these robot dogs. Instead, we've been seeing them like out and about going like, please stay 6 feet apart from one another. We're in a pandemic, yay. And you're like, I guess this is cool. What? Why do we need a dog? Why are you taking people's jobs, dog? And now it's like, why are you taking people's lives? And so again, whether it's DARPA or whether it's a private company or whether it's DARPA working with a private company, the natural conclusion is let's create more heinous ways to remotely kill people.
Yeah.
And there you have it.
Yeah, they're all gonna do it. Literally everyone, as soon as they can put them on 4 legs, they will. As soon as they can make them fly, they will. They want to be able to kill people without having the risk that one of the inconvenient, human soldiers gets shot at the same time. And when they do, it will not only save some lives, theoretically, they are going to be so much freer in the use of force when they can do that. And there, I'm just talking about the actual militaries. I mean, imagine what terrorist groups are gonna do. Imagine what, crazy right-wing, like separatist militias are gonna do with this stuff.
Sure.
Like, are we going to eventually be sitting here and analyzing the first drone school shooting? It seems impossible. Is it impossible? I don't know. I was just watching that video. Now, they're gonna have to get far more sophisticated and all that, but that's what technology does. In 2 years, in 10 years, in 20 years, what is that thing gonna look like? And by the way, everybody needs to stop calling it a dog. Because when you call it a dog, you are inherently invoking things in people's minds that I think are gonna make them be more okay with this. It's on 4 legs, I get it. That don't make it a dog. It could be a skunk. It could be a rat. All of these things have 4 legs. And yes, all animals are innocent, I agree. But I feel like the companies selling these things want you to think of it as a dog. And I'm not inclined to do anything that they want me to do. I don't know, everybody needs to make their own decisions.
Not a dog.
Not a dog. It's just, it's a murder bot. That's what it is. And they are gonna be more common. It is like, people were saying that particular tank that was in the background, I am not an expert of Russian military to this extent, but they're saying that that's a sort of tank that is being used by Russia in Ukraine right now. Now that does not mean that these robots are gonna be used or that they would even be effective if they were. It's possible that it would be way easier to shoot a robot like that than a person. A robot like that is gonna have a lot harder time using cover. It's going to, even if a person is directly looking through it, there's gonna be some lag there. Its situational awareness won't be nearly as good. But again, it doesn't expose you to any danger. And so that makes me very worried about this being developed, and not only by Russia. The US wants to get these things out there as fast as they can.
Of course. To beat the Russians and peaceful demonstrators.
Exactly. Oh yeah, no, you don't think the cops want one of those that uses non-lethal weapons. They don't want to stun people or rubber bullets or bean bags or smoke grenades or tear gas. It's just gonna have a sprinkler system on its back that's just spraying pepper spray in everybody's eyes. And you're gonna see that running around the next, social justice protest you go to.
I mean, yeah, and you remember when we just incorporated tanks that could just patrol protests, like small little mini tanks.
Yeah.
Right. And we were like, oh, okay, that's normal now. I guess I hadn't seen that since the 60s. They did use tanks and water cannons, but like when you see it live for the first time as you're just like with your peace sign, it's like, oh, it hits different, And yeah, we're gonna have to incorporate little robo dogs policing our speech soon.
Great. It's gonna be fun. Fit Dragon Mama says, let's name it a robot possum. Hey, there's nothing wrong with possums. Why do we have to demonize possums?
No, I thought
possums can be adorable.
No, we're on team hate possums.
I love possums. I mean, I don't like that, one of the people I despise the most, Ted Cruz, has one clutching the bottom part of his face. Don't do the possum face. I can't take the possum.
Why is their mouth always open? Ew.
I don't know. They're always ready to say something awesome.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.